I'm John Langlois, I'm Cliff Pugh, and we're insurance brokers, and it's not more or less who we are, it's what we can do for you. Would you agree?
Yeah, 100%, because it's not one size fits all these days.
No, not at all. We're going to start off first about some things and some misconceptions about the VA. We're going to highlight some of those, and we're going to give some answers about what it actually is. Like one of the things, and some of the stuff we can talk personally about, and I know Clip can about his dad.
Yep.
With the aid and attending, which a lot of people have no clue that can be done and how it can help. So if you want to start out with that, Cliff.
All right, so my father was in the Korean War. He's 94, and my brothers and I are really happy because this year he decided to stop driving at night for it. And he's my Superman. So about 4 or 5 years back, my dad was getting to the point where he couldn't take care of himself. He wanted to go and mow the lawn, but it's taking him too long. And we got him paid in attendance. It took about a year for him to get it. And he got a $34,000 check for back pay. He gets $2,630 a month tax-free for him and his wife to help him around the house, help him mow and helping him because he can't get around. So aid and attendance is a real thing. And what's really nice about it is it gave him a little bit more comfort. He served this country honorably. He was in the Korean War, and he's still my Superman.
And some of the things that I've noticed is unintentionally, there are a lot of veterans who are getting misinformation. They're being told, oh, you don't need Part B when you become 65. You're going to the VA. What do you need that for? Well, first off, with all due respect, they shouldn't be giving licensed insurance advice without having that license, because they're actually hurting these veterans over time. Because what happens is by being a veteran and going to the VA, first off, if you're not service connected, it's a benefit. Even as a service connection, it's tiered connection. You got 1 through 8, tier 1 being 100%, tier 8 being no service connection at all. And what happens is when they finally go outside of the VA, because it's something they won't take care of there because it's considered not service connection, it's not necessary, they go to be seen outside and they find out they don't have the coverage. And then they go to get that Part B, and now they're penalized for not having it for such a long period of time. A lot of people think going to the VA is credible coverage. There's only one part of the VA that's credible, and what is that, Clip?
It's the prescriptions.
That's it, just the prescription coverage.
But the prescriptions also, they don't have the newest, latest drugs out there. They have to be 5 years older before the prescriptions can be wrote for a veteran.
Before you get into more of that, you brought up a very interesting part that I have to ask you to embellish on. What do you mean by tier?
So what happens when you're service connected, they rate what your service connection is by a tier. So tier 1 is going to be 100%. Tier 2 is 90. Tier 3 is 70 to 80. Then you got 50 to 60 is the next tier, and it breaks on down the line. What it means by that is how severity or how much disability you have been rated by the VA. Those with the lowest number tier, like a 1, 2, and 3, have the first priority of being seen in the benefits and the money being spent on them at the VA. The higher your tier number means you're not as relevant. The easiest way to put it. So if there's 9 people who need to be seen at the VA and there's only 3 spots, those ones with the lowest number, the 90%, the 100%, are going to take that spot first. So for instance, when they're calling around, okay, we've got to call the veteran and we got to schedule this, or we got to call, we got to do that. Those priorities take place before the other person. I've seen veterans over the past couple of years who have diabetes, who need to have their feet taken care of. They're not service connected, or they're rated at a very low rating of only 10, 20%. They're pushed off. And instead of being seen on a monthly basis like they're supposed to for their feet, they're being seen once every 6 months.
All right, a question for you. If I understand correctly, the veterans are in 10% increments, 10%, 20, 30, up to 100. But 90% of 100% in my world was always 90. According to the tier system that you're mentioning, it's not.
No, 100% is tier 1. If you're 90%, you're tier 2. Then they take the tier rating of 70 and 80, make that tier 3. 50 and 60 is tier 4. So they double up some of them because it's based on their severity.
Okay. So if you're thinking about these tiers, if you get around 80%, you got to make sure if you're under 65 and still want to work, you can't be rated at 100% because if you make a penny and you're rated and you can't make any money, you'll lose that forever. So when you speak with someone, speak to someone that understands it. We both speak VA, we both speak Medicare, and we're good with health insurance. But your rating also could hinder you from going to work. So you got to make sure that when you have someone you sit down with, they understand how the tiers function. Because last thing you want to turn off is your income stream.
Yeah, very, very good. So then the best thing people could do would be to contact you, set up an appointment, come and sit down with you and have you explain and share your knowledge with them.
Beautiful. They can actually reach out to us a couple different ways. We can do a face-to-face if they're local.
Yep.
If they're not local, we can do either a phone call or a Zoom meeting, whichever is easier for them. Sometimes Zoom Meet or Google Meet. We give them many options on how to reach out and sit with us. Some of the other VA stuff that is very important is a lot of people will go to the VA thinking, oh, I can go be seen for this. And I'm talking about like dental, vision, hearing. If it's not medically necessary, you're not going to take care of it if you're not 100%. And if you go to see somebody on the outside and you don't have that extra insurance, you're not going to get covered. I've got examples of veterans who've gone to the VA. They've been told they need to have something done, said it was an emergency. One was told he needed to have an emergency bypass, and they were scheduling it 6 weeks out. Well, so I'm saying, how is an emergency bypass scheduled 6 weeks out? Can't be much of an emergency. So he came to me all upset, all in panic, didn't know what to do. And I had to remind him, you've got an Advantage plan along with your Medicare and your service connection to the VA because he's only at 20%. Get a hold of your outside doctor, schedule your appointment, tell them what they're saying at the VA. Well, they got him in the next day to see his outside doctor. He sent him straight to a cardiologist because the words double bypass was brought up. They ran all kinds of tests, found out he was just severely dehydrated. Gave him 2 intravenous bags, reran the test, said he was fine, brought it back to the VA, and they were like, okay, that was it.
So if you're if you're TRICARE for life or TRICARE, get ready to turn 65, you'd have TRICARE for life. It is mandatory that you pick up your Part B. A lot of people in the VA are being misinformed when they get ready to turn 65. Oh, you don't need Part B. We want to make sure you understand how this works because TRICARE for life is a supplement and it only marries up well with the Advantage plans. And your Part B for 2026 is going to be $206.50 a month. And we have plans that help pay Part B reduction back. So we can put them on a plan that has enough dental work to help them get dentures if they need to. It gives you silver sneakers. It gives you the latest prescriptions out there because those are covered with the VA right now. The prescriptions are 5 years or older that they're using on individuals. We don't think that's fair. You served our country honorably. You should get the best of the best.
What is CHAMP VA?
The CHAMP VA is when somebody is in the military and they get medically retired. So they'll get that CHAMP VA insurance. And once they turn 65 as well, they must maintain Part A or Part B, or they'll lose the CHAMP VA. The problem with that is when somebody gives them misinformation thinking, oh, I don't need the Part B, and they get rid of it, it now takes up to 6 months to a year to get that Part B reactivated. In the meantime, they're going to end up with a penalty for not having that coverage. And that's a big thing where misconception. We want people to understand, don't do that. The other thing is they're already paying the $185 right now, which is going up to $206.50 next year. Why not get a plan that's going to give you those extra benefits and put a big chunk of that money back in your Social Security? Because let's face it, our veterans are struggling as it is. And if you're not getting a big, check from the VA for disability, every penny helps. We find a lot of them that are just service connected. They're not 100%. They don't have the TRICARE for life. They don't have CHAMP VA. They're not 100%. So they're getting very little income from the VA that they can actually go and get an Advantage plan that's going to give them that $170 back in their Social Security that they need. One of the other misconceptions, a lot of veterans think, oh, I'm service connected and I'm 100%, so I'm collecting disability from the VA. I can't get Social Security disability also. Wrong answer. We have somebody that we have a connection with. We can set them up with who can help them get that disability there too. It's not one or the other. They rate both.
So let's talk about veterans that are under 65 that served for 5-10 years and they got VA benefits and they're married and they have a family. When they go to get their insurance in the marketplace, their tax credit may be gone. So they're going to be paying exponentially for these plans, $2,000 some odd dollars a month, depending on how big your family is. The individual has their VA benefits, but the family doesn't get VA benefits on that. So what we're looking at is we try to help them find a plan that's going to fit their needs. And we look at a health protector guard. The health protector guard is a fixed indemnity. It pays out a certain amount for each occurrence. So if you're in the hospital and it's unlimited hospital stays, it pays the first $4,000. It pays $4,000 first. It pays first. There's no co-insurance. There's no deductible. There's no max out of pocket. So with these plans, it pays first. And this is the United Healthcare Network, Health Choice Network, which has 1.8 million doctors nationwide, over 7,000 hospitals nationwide, and your average saving is 58%. So if you end up in a hospital for 6 days, for instance, on this plan, it's going to cost you $15,900 some odd dollars to be on the plan. You get a 58% reduction. It brings it down to $6,450. The plan pays out $27,000, and it's going to cover that $6,400. The remaining amount, a check is mailed back to you because it's a fixed amount. The fixed amount gets back to the person that owns the plan. So it's also important to know that there's a drug prescription side in there. It also does wellness checks. It has ambulance rides. It has ICUs. We put these plans together to help protect you guys so you're getting the right plan. And it's usually about a third of less than what's going to cost you on the marketplace. And there's a simplified underwriting that goes through. You have like 8-10 questions you answer, and it's usually approved within 2 to 3 days. You already got your plan in effect. So we want to make sure that everyone out there understands how we can help you guys find a plan, or ladies and gentlemen, how we can help you guys find a plan that's going to fit you.
Yeah, that's amazing that you mentioned this because my ex is retired CIA operations, and they got pretty good coverage. But for example, she lived in Landsbrook years ago. Most of her doctors were in that area. Now she's up here, and as you're older, it's harder traveling and driving distances and traffic. So she's trying to find new doctors under that plan. And by yourself, without the knowledge that you guys have, it's hard.
Yes. So I have 2 FBI agents that I have in my book of business, and we're talking to them, and they're on a Humana PPO from the FBI's insurance package, from his retirement package, and they're paying $265 a month for him and also for his wife. It took 3 times of getting on the phone with the FBI coordination benefits. I go, just send us a summary of benefits. As soon as he got the summary benefits, I sat down next to him and his wife, and I brought out the civilian Humana PPO. He's paying $268 a month for both of them, each $268. My plan cost nothing. Actually, it gave back $165 in his Social Security, and we went line item by line item. My plan outperformed the one that the FBI is giving out. It took a couple times to get it to get this information from them, but when we sat down, and this could be with any other benefits that you get as retirement. Oh, I get this, and when I stack it up next, or we stack it up next to our plans sometimes beat them, outperforms them quite a bit. And when they realize, well, I'm not paying for it, I go, no, now this is when you talk to benefits. How much are you paying for that? Because when you retire, you can't wait to hit that door and get out and go on vacation. They give you a stack of information. It goes through over your head. All you know is like, I put my 30 and I'm done. And you don't remember all that. And it may be a small increment now that they're paying it. It increases as you get older. So if you're on a benefit from a company you work for, and you get plans, and you don't think it's gonna cost you anything, it's always wise to sit down with insurance brokers like ourselves, because someone that's a captive agent has a toolbox. John and I, we have a tool chest.
I actually have a lot of VA doctors and nurses that have actually left the VA because they've retired,
Yes.
and they've come up to me and be, "Hey, John, can you look at this?" And I've looked at their plan, and they have either United Healthcare or they have Humana, something like that. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, "Hold on a second, what are you paying for that?" And they're like, "Oh, I'm paying $200, or I'm paying." One of them, the doctor was paying $300 for his Humana plan, PPO. I pulled up the exact plan. I'm like, okay, line by line, everything is exactly the same. Even the plan ID number was all similar, but by one number was different. And the plan that I looked at would give him that $160 back in his Social Security. And he's like, "Why am I paying for that?" If it's because they know you will. That's the only thing I can come up with. They're the same plan. Actually, it's better because your prescription costs are lower out here. You're got to give back, which you didn't have there. Oh, and you have a chronic condition now, so it's going to give you this much money for over the counter and this to help with that, which you don't have there. And it has silver sneakers, which you don't have there. And it has nationwide travel because it has the passport, which it doesn't have there. So we actually canceled the one there, went to that, and they tried to give him a threat where, "Oh, you'll never get it back." He's like, "I don't ever want it back." 100%.
Yeah, they try to scare you with that's sales tactics. Very interesting. Like insurance policies. The older you get, the more they charge.
Yes.
They have it all figured out and calculated by mathematical experts, etc. Now,
Being countered.
what happens? Yeah, what happens with healthcare? I mean, if you purchase it at a certain age, does that number lock or does that go up?
They usually go up as you get older. That's how plans work out. There used to be back in the day they stay at a fixed amount, but the older we get, I mean, obviously in the 70s, no one is overweight. Now we're here in that 2025, and the obesity is nationwide is astronomical. A lot more cancer, a lot more high blood pressure, a lot of heart issues, a lot of diabetes. It's just the diet we've eaten, and it's just the course they put us on. So we need to have plans that's gonna fit someone else. I mean, we need plans that's not one size fits all.
So plans that are antiquated, I guess that's the right word, they should be looked into to see how you can upgrade.
Well, one thing that happens with insurance, you got to remember, it's based on a couple factors. Your age, it's always age, and they say it isn't, but whether you're male or female. And the reason I say that is, let's take life insurance, for instance. You can have a set of twins where one is a male and one is a female. The male is going to cost more. And the reason it was explained to me is the male is going to look at the person and go, "Here, hold my beer." They're going to take more chances. They have more risky type jobs. They do things that put their life in more danger and do things that are more dangerous, like standing in front of their life to help protect them and do things of that nature. So it does cost a little more for them for the insurance. And the other thing that was told to me is today is the lowest price you'll ever pay for insurance for the remainder of your life.
Yes. So, one of the products that John and I are using to help people that are paying way too much for the marketplace plans, if you're a healthy person, like I have two clients, husband and wife, they're 64 years old. They're paying over $3,000 a month for their insurance. I put them on a health protector guard, which for 2026, their plan was going to cost $4,200+. I put them on a health protector guard with critical illness, heart attack, cancer, stroke of $100,000, an accident policy that max out at $20,000. That costs them $1,600 a month. The last year before they turned to Medicare, they were going to pay another extra $25,000 in a year, and I saved them that. So these health protector guards are a phenomenal alternative. Well, I'm on one now.
Okay, so the bottom line on all this is, in order to be able to have the knowledge to be able to make a wise decision and purchase the right health plan to fit your personal needs, is to sit down with one of you guys and go over it. And from meeting you and getting to know you, I see that you're not a high-pressure salesman. You're there to help the consumer.
And we don't need a gold star on the wall. We want clients for life.
That's I could read that. I read that in you. The sincerity is there. You're genuine.
And one of the other things with us, where Cliff had mentioned being client for life, is if I'm in 17 states. I started with 4, and I know you're into 22, and some of them overlap. Some of my states are the same states that Cliff has. But how we got them is we've had a client that is in one of the original states we had, and they reached out to us and said, "Hey, I just want to let you know we're moving," and like, "Well, where are you moving to?" "Well, I'm moving to the state." "No worries. I'll get my license there so I can continue taking care of you the way you're used to being taken care of." And they're very, very grateful that we do that. And so that's expanded the states that we're in. So with that, we represent, like you were saying, just in this state alone, over 12 different Medicare companies. Plus you got the Health Protector Guard, plus you got the ACA companies, which means every
320 different companies we represent.
Yeah. So with that said, every June we have to go through training to keep our licenses active and alive. We have to pass that. It's called AHIP.
Yes.
Then we have to go
The other way we have to pass it at.
Oh,
Well, 90% says you get 3 chances. And if you don't get it, you lose your book of business.
Yeah.
So past 2 years, John and I are hitting the 92 to 100%, depending on the year. But we're always keeping our testing out. We also, because we have different insurance companies, we're doing almost 35 tests every year to 35 to 40, depending on what year it is, because sometimes a continuing net comes in. So we're constantly taking tests. Another important thing to know is that we're going to put you first. If you're on the best plan that you're on, we're going to tell you stay where you're at. Here's my card. If someone else calls you and tells you to move, have them call me. I'll make sure they leave you alone. We also, both and I, John, we go and meet our doctors. We go boots on the ground. We go to our doctors. We go to the doctor centers, the group plans, and we want to make sure the doctors submit that we would want to go to, because we look at our doctors as this is your connection for, this is who you don't want to have you can talk to your doctor about anything. We want to make sure that you have a good relationship with your doctor. And if we find doctors that doesn't meet our criteria, then they don't start to.
I think I like that. I like that. You not only evaluate the needs of the client,
Yes.
but you evaluate the doctor and the connection to the client, because it's professional expression, a bedside manner. Some guys could have the nicest bedside manner. You really like them, and they're not that great of a doctor, and vice versa.
Yeah.
So some of the other things that we do throughout the entire year is we do a lot of educational events. We go to places like the Moose Lodge, the America's Legion. We go to the Elks. We go to senior communities. We go to non-senior communities too, to help those who are not seniors understand about different things. Like we'll have some of these doctors' offices call us and say, "Hey, can you come in and talk to these people about what's available for them?" And when we do it in a manner where it's just strict education. You're not there to buy anything. We're not there to sell you anything. As a matter of fact, if you even want anything, you need to talk to us 48 hours later. We can't do anything there. But the biggest thing is walking in and just educating, watching somebody's face go, "Oh, I didn't know that," and watch them light up and go, "Ooh, there is something different." And the best part about it is we belong to a group where we have over 17,000 different businesses, or I should say business representatives in the Tampa Bay area, where if our clients need something that we don't provide, we're a resource for them. "Oh, I need somebody who can come take care of my lawn because I can't do it no more." "Hey, we got a guy." "Oh, I got a problem on the roof." "Hey, we got a lady." "Oh, I wish I had someone come in and clean the house because if you have to come, we got someone." "Oh, my neighbor was complaining he has insects." "We got a person." "Oh, I'm going to travel." We got a person. Just about any type of business you can think of, we're a member of that organization as a trusted member, where we can be a resource for our clients to help them with other things, and not just regionally. It's a national and global thing where if they're in another state, hold on, we can find somebody in your local area. So, and there's no fees back. We don't charge anybody for that. It's just something we provide for our clients to say, hey, we want to make sure you're helped in the best way and you're treated with the respect you should get. I look at it the same way, and I know Clip has mentioned it in the past. If I have a senior client, I want them to have the same respect and dignity that I treat him with and that he treats them with as if it was my own parents and my own grandparents. And if it's somebody in my age group, I want them to be treated the way I would treat myself or my siblings. I want them treated. And if they're younger, I want them treated the way I want my children, and he wants his children and our grandkids to be treated.
That's every, you know what? That's a very admirable way to look at things. Treat them the way you'd want your own parents and loved ones to be treated. That's really, that's very touching, and it's a quality you don't find in many human beings today. So
We also go to low-income apartment complexes or low-income trailer parks and start talking to the individuals, because a lot of people look down upon them. We don't look at them like that. We bring food banks in for them. We have conversation, and we do this month after month. We're not there for October, November, December doing the open enrollment of Medicare, and the people see you 3 times a month, and you carry on your way. You grab your apps and run out the door and do whatever you're doing. We want the consistency factor that we're there every month to talk to you. Whether we get a client or not, and the client or the individual needs help on a plan, we have the backbone. We can make a phone call, get that resolved. They don't have to be our client for them to help us. And every single time that we do this, we're helping someone out. But people around what we do watch what we're doing. There's eyes all over the place on what we do. So when people go, I've seen you here for the last 2 years, and you're helping people that are now needing your clients, they go, well, why should we keep this knowledge to ourselves when we can help benefit someone that needs it? If they happen to be on the right plan, they're on the right plan.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. Everything you're saying, I can relate to it, because I lived in a 55 community, and it was a high rise, and at enrollment time, everybody's there, and then they disappear.
Like, that's
Nice. Exactly. It's not you.
They're stuck with us for life.
It's like one of the senior communities that I'm with. I went in there one time, and as I walked in, I noticed everybody seemed like they were upset and depressed, and it had a funny smell to the building. When I walked in, I'm like, well, what happened? They go, we had a fire the other day. I'm like, you had what? Because we had a fire the other day. I goes, I hope everyone's okay. They're like, yeah. I said, well, did you get a call of this? And they take care. Oh, we don't have that. I go, hold on. I reached out, got a hold somebody in our organization that does water mitigation, somebody who goes in there who does the evaluation for the insurance to estimate of the damage, somebody who goes in there to help out if they need to get temporary housing or replacement for the person who was there, help them make sure they had renter's insurance, because nobody in the property had renter's insurance. Then they had to go in and get somebody to paint the building. After all the damage was done, they had to get someone to come in there, the handyman, to do the work, an inspector. We had all that in our organization that we belonged to. I was able to refer all these different people to come in, and they're like, thank God you were coming in here. We had no idea who to contact.
Well, I'm going to have to refer to you guys as the go-to guys.
We're trying to work to that.
Yep. It's okay. Is there anything else you want to bring out?
Yeah, there's a couple things. There's occasions that we'll go and meet with someone, and I got a phone call. This is like 4 or 5 years ago. And when I say I represent every major company in Medicare, I do. And I had a lady call me. She goes, Cliff, where's my new card? I go, well, what card? She told me the name of the company. I'm like, that's not going to work for you. Your doctors aren't in it, and half your prescriptions out. She goes, well, I called you at 2 o'clock in the morning. I go, dear, I wasn't awake at 2 o'clock in the morning. She goes, I seen your commercial on TV. I said, okay, so when you see these commercials all tattooed all over the place, we call it a fishing expedition, because they're just trying to get you on the line. They get you on the line, they start flipping them plans, and you get a new card. We have the availability, we have the resources to make a phone call, get that turned off, make a complaint that someone's doing something against the rules for Medicare, and go back to where they were, no headache. And to have that resource, to know how to use our resources, to take the time to understand, because if you're dual eligible, Medicare, Medicaid, means you get extra help from the state. So if you're partial, or if you don't know what it is, time to talk to one of us, because we can explain you between full and partial Medicaid. So if you're partial Medicaid, it covers Part B premiums only. You're not cost share protected on the Part A. So if you're cost share protected, you're fully eligible, which means your Part B is paid for, and then you get the extra help on all the services. And I've seen time and time again, I get up and meet someone, they're like, yeah, I'm on a give back plan. I go, well, they said that they're gonna pay for all my Part B. I go, for one, they can't give you money that you're already getting from the state. For two, now you're on a plan that has co-payments for specialists and doctors and hospital visits. Let's take a second. Let me see what level you are. Okay, you're fully eligible for Medicaid A and B. I put them on a plan that costs them $0 all the way across the board. Every single line item in that was $0, and they even got healthy food cards. So when you understand how Medicare and Medicaid works with Medicare, it's the best thing you can do is understand what you're doing as a broker. Make sure you're on the top of your game, and don't give advice that you don't know.
And one of the other things I've seen happen where somebody was fully on Medicare, Medicaid, and somebody convinced them to change to a give back plan, they now take that as income. That person was now put over their limit and lost their Medicaid and had to fight to get their Medicaid back. And that took them several months to get that Medicaid back and get re-squared away. So you could really hurt somebody. And one of the other things myself and Cliff are very good at is after the first of the year, we are just as busy during January, February, and March as we are during October, November, and December, fixing other agents' mistakes and mess ups. We have doctors who reach out to us and say, hey, Cliff, hey, John, somebody moved my patient to this plan. We don't take it. They told them we did. This poor person's been my patient for 14 years. Now I can't see them. And the patient's very upset, or their prescriptions aren't covered correctly. Can I give them your information to call you so you can help them? Because they'll ask us to call most. Sorry, we can't call that patient by law. The patient has to reach out to us per 100% so we can help them. Okay. And then they'll reach out to us, and we've got a short window of time where we can correct that mistake, but we spend that entire time fixing mistakes. I mean, I fixed last year, I think, more mistakes during January and February and March than absolute people I was able to help get new plans during open enrollment. And
This has been a very informative interview. I learned a lot, and there's so much, it's so complex that you just can't digest it all by listening to it one time. So this will be played repeatedly on YouTube, and people can pick and choose little things they want to hear again. And of course, your contact information will be in editing. We'll put your names and phone numbers under your pictures periodically throughout the interview. And in signing off, is there anything you'd like to add at the closing?
yeah, I just want to add one thing. If you do try to reach out to us and you don't get an answer right away and you leave a voicemail, remember, we're pretty busy sometimes this time of year. Please give us at least 24 hours to get back to you. If you don't hear from us right away, don't think we're blowing you out. We're not. It's out of respect. If I'm sitting with somebody, I won't answer the phone, and I no Cliff won't either. And just like if we were talking to you, we wouldn't interrupt our conversation to answer the phone for somebody else. We think it's just a respectful thing. I'm not doing that. So please allow us 24 hours to get.
I like everything I heard here today. This has been really good, and I hope this helps a lot of people.
So I'd like to say something as well. If you've been on the same plan year after year and you haven't done a policy review, it's time to at least reach out to us and see if we can help you.
A policy review?
Yeah, our policy reviews are free. Right? Sure. The one we do policy reviews, we look at what you have like we always do. We do a fact finder, find out more about you, what your wants and needs are in your insurances. So if you haven't done a policy review, or you don't like how much your insurance is costing, you can get a hold of the insurance bros here. We're going to give you a number that's going to have an extension on it, and you'll be able to reach out to our assistant, Virginia. She'll put you in our calendar. That's the fastest way to get to us. If you're playing phone tag with us, 95% of the time we're going to be in an appointment. We're on the road traveling. It's hard to put you on the calendar while we're driving. As we all know, we're not supposed to text and talk.
Okay, real good. Hey, this has been great, fellas, and we'll do follow-up sequences as we go along.
Perfect.
Because I think there's so much more. But like I said, it's so hard to be able to digest so much of your knowledge in such a short period of time. So we'll do a second, a third. Let's keep the people well informed. It's a plus to you and a plus to them. And I like the policy review thing.
Yep.
Yeah, things change.
And when you get us for life. So we'll be reaching out to you, or our assistant will, several times throughout the year, just to make sure everything is okay. And don't be afraid if we've helped you. If a new doctor comes along, or a new prescription, or a new diagnosis, please reach out to us so we can make sure you're still in the correct plan with those new diagnoses and new prescription, because sometimes they're not covered and we need to make that change, but we don't know if you don't inform us.
Okay, we just want to close and let you know it's not one size to solve, but we have the booth for that size.
Okay, I guess that's.
I'm John Langlois.
Cliff Pugh.
Okay, I guess I was signing off, America. See ya. Thank you.